This is Evan Shapiro. I'm at South by Southwest 2025 for Content Crossroads. We've got Mike Sid here from Atelier. Yeah. So Atelier is a partner that I've been working with at a bunch of different events this year already in 2025. Let everybody know, what does Atelier do?
Absolutely. Thanks. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity. And Atelier, we have technology that helps you simplify both media production and distribution. We've got two main products now, Live and Connect. What Live does is it's a revolutionary software live production product that really changes the game on live production and lets you do things that you could not do before, lets you at both the smallest and the largest of scales. And it's, I think, really, really relevant to both folks doing live sports and big productions, as well as creators being at events like this and going around and really trying to capture what they do. We actually recently did a creator event in LA where we showed off our new app, which really simplifies the process. So, you don't have to have that big backpack that you're carrying right now. You could just have a very simple app-based device, but also produce professional level video in a way that you can edit it readily and get it out there live. Our Connect distribution product, on the other hand, is used by the largest studios as well as many other folks to simplify and automate the process of content distribution when you need to get your content onto hundreds of platforms in a quick and effective way.
So you're helping, we're here at South by Southwest, you help the creators out here organize their content and get it out there in a live stream in a way that is very difficult for them in other...
Exactly. So if they want to have just, so let's say you have your creator here, and, creators these days, obviously their crews can get to be, quite a bit. So maybe there's just then one person who has the camera as opposed to two. Then you have like your editor who's doing your live editing, back at home or remote or somewhere or living in a nice island, in Fiji.
So it gives you a control room on an app level basis.
Exactly. It gives you a control room in the cloud. If you want to do it in your, from a server in your house, if you want to be more secure, however you want to do it, it lets you do all of that editing, creating multiple streams of that and pushing them out. So perhaps you're creating your YouTube video, but you also want to create something for TikTok. You also want to, perhaps create your YouTube short as well. You can do that all at the same time. Your editor can do that all simultaneously.
It elevates and accelerates the amount of work a small team can do.
Absolutely. It's a really, if you will, a force multiplier, in that ability, and gives you the ability to create professional. I mean, like you were saying, right? I mean, like half of YouTube viewing now is on a giant CTV, right? When you've got that in 55 inch, that 75 inch.
It's a look better. You want it to meet them.
Has to be professional. Has to be professional grade. It can't look bad. And that's as true of recorded content on YouTube as it is of live.
So the platform is democratizing that kind of level of production quality for creators, but at the same time, on the inverse, it's allowing these big companies to be much more nimble with regards to the number of platforms it's putting their content out.
Yeah, and actually our live product also has also been used by large companies. I mean, from their perspective, it's an open platform, completely API driven. They can create all their own interfaces for it, just talking to one of our customers. So even for each production that they are doing, where they may have different camera setups, they'll create a different mixing board, software-based mixing board for each production, based on what they need to do, how many cameras, how many sets, where's it coming from, customizing it and really making production, better and faster, as opposed to everybody having to fit into like a physical board.
Well, we're on a panel in a little while called The Product is the Message Now. And to a certain extent, I think, so this is both production and distribution, workflow management, but also acceleration and a force multiplier, like you said. It does feel like, when I came up with that point of view for this panel, it was what device is the user using to watch the content. But ultimately, I think it also goes to how the artists, how the publishers, the tools that they use, the devices they use, the way they collaborate in this modern age to make the content and get it to the audience that it most needs to go to. Is that?
Absolutely. Giving you a sort of a sneak preview of the kind of the story that I'm going to be telling a little bit later. I kind of interpreted this as sort of, you are trying to get your message, right? The message is the medium. Where is the medium? The medium has changed. the medium is, as you said, it's YouTube, it's social video, it's streaming, it's fast. Maybe it's all in the same CTV, but it's kind of everywhere. So the example that I was going to use was of one of our customers who is a reality production. And, in the world of reality, it's probably one of the most engaging, long form types of content that came from traditional TV. People love it. It gets into the zeitgeist, but it's been around for a little bit, but it's now hitting a lot of change, right? So no longer can you just have your show and broadcast, depend upon press and media to develop the buzz.
Go across all these other platforms.
Yeah, everywhere. You've got to be on YouTube. You've got to be in social video. You've got to be ever, and you've got to do this also within a really, really fast turnaround.
Right.
Because people just want to have that content.
Yeah, you can't wait days to put stuff up on social video.
Exactly.
It happens live in a show.
Exactly. And then how do you do that, right? Especially like now, one of the interesting things I also find about reality is that it's a format-driven industry, right? So you have international formats of everywhere, the way you don't have it in scripted.
Right.
Perhaps because the cost of production is cheaper, but perhaps not.
It's easier to reversion by redoing it as opposed to dubbing.
Exactly. And people also, I think, connect better with reality when it's, closer to local, when it's literally their reality. So, of course, that introduces challenges. How do you recreate the skill? You can do this, sure, for the U.S. production, but how do you do this for like
the old ways of doing things with tape? And obviously, we're beyond the tape here, but I still think there is so much of that goes on inside content operations that is still driven by spreadsheet.
Yeah,
that is still that the metadata and all the other aspects. I'm simplifying it down to the things that I can speak about, but all aspects of file sharing and everything in the knowledge economy that gets gummed up by these layers of processes and different communication devices. That's what you guys address. That's
absolutely, and that's also the cost. Let's say you're doing a remote production. A lot of these reality things are remote productions, even for the.
You don't have to take everybody.
If you can do remote production, but then you're going to have to backhaul that high res all the way back to your office in Burbank, and have your crew do editing, or you could bring those people to the remote location, which, as we all know, is ungodly expensive, and but now technology allows you to do something else, and our Atelier
it gives you the flexibility to choose between them, but also to compare the.
Yeah, exactly. So this way now, instead of sending the high res all the way back, we send a proxy. The high res is local. All of the mixing of the different mixes, for broadcast or streaming, for YouTube, for TikTok, for fast, all of that can happen at the same time, possibly with different teams of editors, all working in the same software core.
Yeah.
Right, and doing that all on proxies, and that immediately coming back to the high res and shipping out the different streams to the right places.
Well, that is a great example of meeting the content and the audience and the need case of the creators in the moment. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Mike, Sid from Atelier. Thanks so much for sponsoring the conference. It's been really wonderful.
It's been a terrific experience.
Thanks so much. This is Evan Shapiro from South by Southwest 2025 for Content Crossroads. See you soon.